If you are in India and currently studying BTech, BE, BCA, BCom, BSc, and BBA, any bachelor degree, if you are currently studying in India, or even if you just completed studying the bachelor's in India and want to do masters in Japan for free, then this video is for you. Hello all, I am Shaurya. I have been living in Japan since 2021. And over the past few years, I have seen so many Indian students coming from India to Japan to study for free. They are doing their bachelor's and master's or even PhD in Japan for free. If you are new to this video, then you also check out my previous video where I have given a complete introduction of what this scholarship is, how many different types of scholarships are there, and who all are eligible for this scholarship. In this video, I will be addressing the most important questions which I have received from my previous video, and majority of them are from the students who are currently doing bachelor's in India. There are lots of questions. For example, am I eligible to study in Japan? This is my percentage in my bachelor's. Am I eligible? What universities are available for me to apply for? I have backlogs. Am I still eligible? I'm currently in my second year and third year of BTech. Can I apply for the scholarship? And this video is to address the most important 18 questions, mainly, especially for the bachelor students who are currently studying bachelor's in India and want to do masters in Japan for free. And I'm sure after the end of this video, you will have so much clarity that you will not have any doubts and directly apply for the scholarship. So what I have done is I have opened the MEXT guideline sheet. I have read each and every line and noted down all the answers for your most asked questions. So all the answers I'm sharing in this video are directly from the official guidelines, both from Embassy of Japan and India website and also the MEXT Scholarship Guidelines website. This is the most confusing part of the MEXT application, which is the 16-year education rule. Japan requires a total education of 16 years before applying for masters in Japan. Now, let's clearly understand what is the 16-year rule, because based on this rule, for some of you, it will be a direct application path, or for some of you, it will be slightly different. First, we will understand the Japan's education structure. For Japan, you see that the elementary school is 6 years, the junior high school is 3 years, and the high school is 3 years, and then the bachelor's is 4 years. So by the time you're about to do masters as a Japanese student in Japan, you have already completed 16 years of education. Now, Japan expects the same for every other country student who is coming to do masters in Japan. They expect that, okay, every other country must also have the 16 years of education. Now let's look at Indian education system and how Indian education system actually accurately matches with the Japanese rule of 16. In India, we do 10 years of school, class 1 to grade 1 to grade 10, and then 2 years of high school, which is sometimes called intermediate or sometimes called junior high school, which is also called plus 1, plus 2, or 11th and 12th. There are so many names, but that is 2 years. And then we do 4 years of bachelor's typically. So there are 16 years also in the Indian education system. So Indian education system is exactly matching the Japanese requirement of 16 years. So no confusion till here. But the main confusion comes for the students from BCom, BCA, BSc backgrounds, or even BBA, where the bachelor's is only 3 years. Yeah, that is where the main confusion comes, because that will make the total education to only 15 years and not 16. But let me tell you the good news. Even those with 3 years of bachelor degrees are also perfectly available for this scholarship, because Japan is smart enough. They know that there are these 3 year degree courses as well, and they don't want to leave them out. So what they have done is they have come up with a new path for the 3 year course people, which is called the Kenkyusei path. You see the Kenkyusei path, and the Kenkyusei path is researcher path. So what the students will do is after 3 years of their bachelor's, they go to Japan. They join as a research student in a lab. They do 1 year of research, and they will also learn the language in the 1 year. And Japan also pays stipend for that 1 year. And after that 1 year is complete, they have officially completed 16 years of education. So after that, the master's program will start. So that is how even the 3 years degree student can also apply for masters in Japan. The final conclusion is, if you are doing bachelor's in India, anyone, you are perfectly eligible to do masters in Japan with this scholarship. The next most asked question is, do my college need to have NAAC accreditation? All right. The straightforward answer is no. There is no such rule in MEXT that specifically mentions that your college need to have NAAC accreditation. So just for those who don't know what this is, these are set of standards and rules which are set by the Indian government, and if any of the universities match all those requirements, they will be certified NAAC accredited. So usually the top IITs, NITs, and even the top universities in India and the top local colleges also get this certification. So if you feel that your college does not have this and you are worried about this, don't worry, because MEXT does not eliminate you based on this accreditation. If your college is just recognized by the state, that's all. If it is just UGC recognized or AICTE recognized, and if your bachelor's degree is recognized, that's all it matters. The next most asked question is, I am in my second and or third year. Can I apply now or not for this scholarship? So if you're in second year, you should not apply. Second year, either in BSc, BCom, BBA program, or even in BTech, you cannot apply. The only way you can apply is in your final year. If you're in BCom, BSc, BBA, which is a 3 year course, then you should apply in your third year. And if you're doing BTech and BE, then you should apply in your fourth year. So final year is what matters in any degree. So MEXT requires you to satisfy their academic background, their percentage criteria and everything. So if you're in second year, what I suggest is focus on your percentage, focus on building your profile, and apply for this in your final year. So you should use this time to improve your CGPA or the percentage, progress in your research, do the projects, and build a nice resume for yourself till you reach your final year. The simple rule is wait till your final year and then apply. So the next most asked question is, I am in final year, what do I do? If you're in final year, first look at the deadline of application. For 2026, it is May 15th. All right. The single most important thing you have to do right now is just fill in the application form, and it's a free application form, and submit it via email. That's it. Just do it before May 15th. And if you get shortlisted, you need to submit a lot of proofs, right? So start accumulating all the transcript documents, uh, get your letters of recommendation from your HOD and supervisor, and you have to shortlist 3 Japanese universities, and you have to identify who will be your supervisors in the university, because these details and your research plan you have to enter in your preliminary application as well. So this is the most important thing you have to do, and I can't stress enough on this point. Your research plan, whatever you want to do, is the single most important aspect of your application's rejection or acceptance status. And I have explained what makes a good application in my previous video, so please check it out to get an overview of this scholarship before moving forward. Again, there are some steps and it might feel long, so please start slowly, start one by one. Don't get overwhelmed with a lot of documents in your mind. Start with the most important one and slowly move forward. The next question is, when do I actually go to Japan? All right. So first, let us understand the timeline of this. The application window is typically in April and May of 2026 for this year. The first thing which happens is the embassy screening. The embassy will screen your applications, will check all your documents, whether it is correct or not. Then they will do the interviews, they will put some tests. And if you clear them, then you have cleared the first round of interviews. And that happens from May to July. All right. And next will be the university acceptance. So the embassy will send these details to the university, and the university will accept you in that. And then the second round is when the MEXT itself, the MEXT body itself will shortlist you. The first is the embassy shortlisting, and next is the MEXT shortlisting. And the MEXT shortlisting, it happens, and the results will arrive in January to March of next year, which is 2027. And finally, you get into Japan either in April 2027 batch or October batch. So if we notice one thing, there is a full 1 year of gap from the time you apply for the scholarship and the time you arrive in Japan. So it's not like you're applying and once you get shortlisted, you are landing in Japan in 1 week or 1 month. All right. So there are a lot of steps and there is a year gap. So you have to understand that. So this is the entire timeline of from when you'll apply for the scholarship and when you'll actually reach Japan once you get selected. The next question is I am graduating in this May or June of 2026. Am I too late or am I on the right time? Straightforward answer is you are perfectly on right time. Just apply it before the deadline of May 15th. And this is the same schedule of the timeline. You are applying now and the screening will happen till in May and July, and the university acceptance will come in September, final results till March of next year, and you will arrive in Japan in April or either October. All right. So if you're in your final year and if you're graduating right now also, just apply for it. The next asked question is, which path should I choose? Embassy recommendation or university recommendation? And for those who don't know what these are, I'll explain quickly. Embassy recommendation is where the Embassy of Japan in India recommends you to the Japanese universities. And university recommendation is the University of Japan directly will recommend you to MEXT, saying that I want this student. All right. So there are two different paths. And again, I have completely explained this in depth in my previous video. Please check it out. So the question is, what path should I choose? For a fresh graduate, for a fresh bachelor graduate in India, the best path is the embassy recommendation route. What the embassy does is you apply through the embassy of Japan in India. They do all the screening, all the interviews, all the written tests, and then they will forward your information to MEXT in Japan. And then the MEXT does the second round of screening. So this is the process. But if you're applying through a university recommendation, what that means is you should talk to the professor, you should email the professor, whoever you like to work with, check their website and email them and convince them that you are the right candidate for their research or for their lab. And when you convince them, the professor and the university will tell to MEXT that I have a so and so student who is from India and I want them to come and work in Japan in our laboratory, in our research. So please sponsor them. So that is a university recommendation path. As a fresh bachelor graduate in India, the best path is the embassy recommendation because you directly do not have any connections with Japanese universities or their professors. Of course, you can find them online and email them, but this is the most easiest path to go with, which is the embassy recommendation path. And one more thing I want to say is if you did not clear the embassy recommendation path, you can still apply for the university path. Okay, so technically you have two chances. But first, apply through the embassy, wait for it. If you did not clear it, then email the professors personally and pitch yourself and ask them to sponsor you. And then they will inform MEXT to sponsor you. So that is the next path. Now, the next asked question is, what CGPA do I need? Do backlogs disqualify me? So for the bachelor's degree, so this is a screenshot I have taken from the Embassy of Japan in India's website, and it shows that the field requires a minimum 70% marks. And also, even for the doctoral course, which is a PhD, they require 70% in the master's. So this is one cutoff. And if we look at below, the eligibility for humanities and social sciences is 65%, not 70. So this is what the embassy track expects you to have by the time you're applying for the scholarship. But if you're taking a university recommendation path, which is a second path, then there is a very strict guideline that you need to have 2.30 plus GPA on a scale of 3. And how do you convert this on a scale of 3? You just Google it. MEXT have a formula on how you convert your percentage into GPA on a scale of 3. So do that and check whether you are clearing this 2.3 out of 3 scale or not. So that is the percentage requirement for the embassy track and the university recommendation. Now, the third question is active backlogs. Well, if you have active backlogs during the time of application, then that could be a problem because the embassy will look at all your transcripts. And if some of the transcripts are missing, then that will definitely weaken your application. However, if you had backlogs in the past and you have cleared it by the time of application, that should generally not be a problem, given that you have good percentage and you have good research proposal at your hand. So a cleared backlogs with a good percentage can still qualify you to the next application. And the next question is, I'm working for 2 to 5 years after my bachelor's. Am I still eligible? Right? The answer is you are still eligible. The only thing to consider here is the age limit. You should be born after 1992. Then you're eligible. And in fact, there is an extra recommendation letter section in the application as well. So if you're currently employed, you can get a recommendation letter from your employer and submit it. And that work experience will actually strengthen your application. For example, uh, if you're working in a field and you want to do masters in the relevant field, then it will be a lot of beneficial point for you. For example, if you're working in IT and you want to do research in either cybersecurity or AI, for example, then it matches your work and your research topic. For example, if you are some analyst in a financial domain and you want to do economics or financial economics, so that also matches what you're currently doing and what you want to do in masters. So in this way, your current employment will actually benefit you if you choose the similar research path in Japan. The next question is, should I quit my job before applying? This is for the people who are already working. The straightforward answer is no, do not quit your job until the results are finalized, because it takes a whole 12 months from the time of application to the time of acceptance. So it's always suggested to quit the job only after it's 100% guaranteed that you have been selected in that particular course. As you know, the selection is highly competitive, so nothing is guaranteed until you get selected. So you need to have a good financial runway for the next 12 months of cycle. So you should not quit until you get a acceptance letter from Japanese universities. All right. The next question is, I have already a master's or MBA. Can I still apply? The answer is yes, you can still apply and you can qualify for the next PhD course, which is a doctoral course. And this is actually very easy compared to the bachelor's path, because once you have master's, you can just apply for PhD without thinking much. And if you already have master's in India and if you are planning to do second master's in Japan, then that is technically allowed, but you have to justify why you are doing second master's again after having one master's already and why you are not going to PhD. So if you can justify that, that would be a fine path. You can apply for the second master's. And if you are a previous MEXT grantee, if you already got MEXT scholarship previously and you want to reapply, then the guideline says that you have to have at least 3 years of work experience or educational experience before reapplying. The next question is, does my degree subject matter? Right? So when the BCom, BSc, BBA students look at MEXT scholarship, they only think that this is only for engineering students and not for us. So I'll clarify that doubt here. This screenshot is taken from the MEXT guidelines, where it has listed around 20 fields and every bachelor subject maps to one of them. For example, if you are from computer science or BCA, then you map to this computer science thing, which is S. All right, computer science and information technology. If you are from ECE, then it maps to electronics, which is letter O, electronics. And you are from BSc, physics, chemistry, maths, then there is a direct mapping. For BSc physics, there is physics, mathematics, and chemistry, and biology. So everything maps perfectly with the mixed fields. Now coming to BCom, BBA, economics, all of these map to social sciences. All right, social sciences. So This is how all your fields, even if you're not an engineering graduate, you can still apply for masters in Japan in your respective fields. What truly matters is what exact research you want to do, in what field you want to do, and that field must be relevant to your previous degree. So the next question is, can I pivot fields for my masters? Can I change my fields, which is different from my bachelor's, to a different field in masters? Well, it is possible if you can defend it, if you can justify why you are switching the domains. The mixed rule says that if you're applying for a major, you must apply for a major or master's in a relevant field of your bachelor's. All right. So, for example, if you're a computer science student, CSE student, then you can apply in AI. These are adjacent domains. If you're a mechanical student, then you can apply for robotics because they are adjacent domains. And if you are BCom, then you can apply for finance domains. And if you're in biology, you can apply for biotech domains. So I hope you get the point. As long as these are adjacent to your previous degree, you can apply it. But if you are doing a hard change, hard pivot from your previous existing degree to a completely new domain, then it's difficult. Then it's very hard. For example, if you're from engineering background and you're changing to pure humanities, which is completely unrelated, then it might not be accepted. If you're from commerce background and you are moving to sciences such as maths, physics, chemistry, then also it's pretty hard to justify. So all what matters is you have to justify your change with your research plan, with the coursework you have done, and mainly you have to convince both the MEXT and also the professor that you're eligible, and what you're doing, what you will be doing in the future in Japan matches what you have done in the past. So this is the most important question asked. What are the universities which actually take the international bachelor graduates? All right. So I have listed some of the universities. Of course, there are so many other universities as well, but I have listed some of the top universities here. Please feel free to do a lot of research about the universities. Firstly, if you're from engineering background or sciences, then these are the best options. University of Tokyo, best. Institute of Science Tokyo, Kyoto University, Osaka University, and Tohoku University. These are some of the top names in the industry. And also strong is the Nagoya University, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Tsukuba universities. Very, very strong. And now if you are from business or commerce background, then you have these options. Hitotsubashi, Waseda, Keio, and Kobe universities. They offer courses in business and commerce. Then humanities and sciences. Of course, again, the Tokyo University, Kyoto University, Sophia University, and Waseda University. These are well known names in this domain. The main strategy which the students use, or which you must use in general, is keep three options. You have to choose three options in your list of dream universities. In your list of application, you have to put three university names. Firstly, put what is your dream college. Dream college is generally like the top rated college which you want to go. Put that as number one option. And number two option is more realistic option. Yeah, if you can't get the dream job, what is actually the realistic university which you can get into based on your profile? Keep that in your second option. And the third option is more like a backup, which is like, okay, if I don't get both of them, what will be my third option? Okay, so three universities, that is how you target your three universities. And one important point is you have to really focus on which lab you want to work, not about what is the ranking of the university. Which lab you want to work, is that lab's research aligning with your plan of research or not? That is what you have to really look for, instead of looking for whether the university is a top university or not. The next question is, what's my plan B if MEXT does not work out? And to be honest, MEXT is not the only scholarship which Japanese government or Japanese universities offer. There are many other things. So this is a quick note of all the other scholarships available. The first is JASSO Honor Scholarship, and it is compatible, and you can have this along with MEXT also. So you can have two scholarships together. And next is ADB, Japan Scholarship Program. And you have many other scholarships, which are private scholarships given to the international students, such as Honjo, INPEX, Yoshida, Rotary, Yoneyama Foundations. Along with that, every university specifically also have some special fee waiver programs. So, University of Tokyo, Tohoku, and Tsukuba universities, for example, are more generous to have fee waivers as well. So, all you have to do, honestly, is to whatever university you're applying, open that university's website and research what scholarships that university specifically is offering. MEXT is by a body in Japan, for it applies to all the universities, but there are also university specific scholarships which you can apply for. So if you don't get MEXT, you can still apply, search for the scholarships, apply for the scholarships, and get in that. So the next question asked is, do I need JLPT, which is a Japanese language proficiency test, or IELTS or TOEFL to apply? The straightforward answer is, if it is through embassy track, through embassy recommendation, then there is no mandatory language test required, because the embassy, they have their own Japanese or English exams and also the interviews. All right, but it's not compulsory. They have their own way of doing the interviews. But if you already have the certificates such as GLPT or TOEFL or IELTS or any of that, you can apply for it, you can attach it along with your documents, but it is not mandatory. It is still optional. But if you are applying through a university track, then the university track has this rule that you should either have JLPT N2 level certification or CEFR B2 plus English level. So, in simple terms, CEFR B2 is like upper intermediate English. If you can speak English, normally, if you can speak English, then you are eligible. Or if your university in India offered courses in English, which is most of the colleges and most of the universities, then you are eligible. So don't need to worry about the language factor here. All you have to do is to prove that, okay, my courses were actually in English, taught in English. That's it. So the next question is, where do I physically submit my application? So firstly, Embassy of Japan, New Delhi, or any regional consulate journals. There are one in Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore. And in my previous video also I have explained that group of states will be directed to one consulate. For example, in South India, the South Indian states direct to, for example, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they go to the Chennai, and Bangalore have its own consulate. And the one in the north, they either match to Mumbai, Delhi, or Kolkata. So you have to check the website of Embassy of Japan in India. I have also shown this list in my previous video. So that video is very, very important to understand more details about the scholarship. How much does this scholarship pay you monthly? Everything I have explained in the previous video. So do check that out again and again. And if you want to get more details about the scholarship, this is a link. This is a link. Simply, you can search MEXT Scholarship for Indians on Google and go to the first link. That is your answer. And finally, this is a tip for everyone, all the bachelor students who are applying. Before proceeding with the application, I will share one point which is from the MEXT guidelines. Actually, this is from the MEXT document section 10. It says that first screening evaluates whether the research plan is stated in a detailed and concrete manner or not. Okay, these are the words from official document. So what they're saying is they are expecting your research plan to be detailed and concrete rather than just generic sentences. For example, if you say, I want to study artificial intelligence in Japan and contribute to my country's development. This is a very general statement. Anyone in India can use the same statement. There is no specific concrete plan in this particular statement. But what is expected to do is what what is expected is you identify a gap, what is missing, and identify from which laboratory you want to work with. Read some of the research, what that laboratory students and the professors have done in the past few years. And based on that, you can propose, okay, this is what is missing, and this is how I can contribute to it. And as a result, these are the outcomes which we can expect from this collaboration. So, this is a more concrete and more detailed plan. It must have like a specific problem, there is a methodology, the lab which you are targeting, and the professor which you want to work under. So this is what MEXT expects in your research plan. And it really, really shortlists the people who only write specific, nice plans rather than a very generic and simple plan. Typically, the winning idea is around 1500 to 2000 words of proper research plan, which includes the names, the labs in Japan, and how that particular research will bridge the gap between India and Japan. So, this is a winning formula for anyone who's applying for bachelor's. Well, finally, we have reached the end of this video. I hope now you know that you are more eligible than what you thought you were after looking at all these questions. I hope all of your doubts are cleared and you got that confidence to know the pitfalls and how to work through it. So all I want you to do is first save this video and also save the deadline of application, right? And I request you guys to comment which stream you're from: BSc, BCom, BTech, BBA, BCA, anything, so that I get an idea on which domain I have to deep dive into this scholarship. I want to make detailed videos for each of them. So comment your current degree below. And also, if you know some friends who are thinking, okay, I'm not eligible right now, please share this video to them also, so that they will know that they are eligible as well and apply for the scholarship. And honestly, it sounds so much. It sounds big and overwhelming with a lot of things to do. Please start it step by step. If you dump everything all at once, then you'll get stuck. All right. So start slowly and use this winning formula to write a research paper and contact with the lab members, the professors, and everyone. Check out their research and then apply properly. And I wish you all the very best for this scholarship journey. See you all in the next video.